What's going on, everybody? Thank you for stopping in. This might be your first time playing Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, or you might have played Breath of the Wild. If you have, or have not, these are still good tips to learn. You might not find them helpful, but I do. So we're going to roll right into it with tip number 1. Tip number 1. So, you want to improve your glider. You got this base glider here. It's good. It will disappear after a certain amount of time, and you do need to put it on some type of rails or kind of dump it off the edge because they won't glide on their own. Like, as you can see, the glider's just sitting here. So, to improve the glider a little bit, you can simply take out a portable fan, stick it on the back of this. I would suggest more or less in the center of it, because this glider will like the balance on it will change depending on where you put it and where you're standing. As soon as you put it on the rails, the glider will start moving by itself. The fan's not activated yet. So all you gotta do, whack the fan, and you'll get more speed out of it. So yeah, that is one way to improve your glider. There's other ways to do it, but this is just a simple way to make the glider faster. Starting to blink. When you hit that, when it starts to blink, it means this thing's gonna disappear here in a minute. And we're gonna fall. There it is. Yep. And then you gotta manually glide. And if your stamina bar runs out, you will be dead. Tip number 2. When you are falling, you can use your glider, your hand glider, but you will run out of stamina. If you run out of stamina, you'll fall to the ground and die. So, to kind of get around that, you just glide until you get close to the ground. As an example, I'll show you right here. You get close to the ground, then you hit the glider. So that way you don't run out of stamina. Or, while you're gliding, if you have certain food recipes made, like this one, the Energizer Salt Grilled Mushrooms, when you're running out of stamina, almost at the end, you push the start button, the pause menu, and you go in here. Then you eat this while you're midair, and then you'll refill your stamina bar, so that way you can travel a further distance. So that is tip number 2. Tip number 3. So, tip number 3 is fast travel. Fast traveling seems simple, but it's very handy. And now you can unlock different fast travel points by doing, like this one, the lookout towers, or shrines. Shrines will allow you to not only get a blessing when you complete the shrine, but also unlock it as a fast travel point. So that is very handy for getting around the map, especially if you're down on the ground here, and you want to go up to the Sky Islands. You can always teleport back up here. Tip number 4 is going to be something kind of simple sounding, but it is helpful. So you see all these apples in these trees, and you want to get to them. You can climb the tree, sure. Or you can chop it down with an axe. All the apples will fall for you. And then you can use the log, chop it up for extra firewood. Tip number 5, hunting. So you definitely want to hunt in this game. As you just saw me, I killed that deer, or elk, whatever it was. So this was not just a normal deer, it was I believe it was like an elk or something. This gives you raw prime meat, which is really good for healing. Not only for that, it's cooking. So you want to find a cooking pot like this, or any form of cooking pot. You have portable cooking pots as well that you can find around the area. So what you do is you grab whatever resource you want. You can experiment, look up recipes online. I like to experiment, personally. So what I'm going to do is grab, or hold, let's hold 2 drumsticks. And we're going to do 3 apples. So you can hold the 5 items at a time in your hand. Now, different variations. So say if you want to cook something with cold resistance. So you'll grab 2 pieces of meat and 3 peppers. Or 1 piece of meat and 4 peppers. The more hot peppers you have, the longer your cold defense will be. And same thing with heat resistance. If you find some type of, it's a chill shroom, I believe it is. If you find those and add that in, it'll give you heat resistance instead of cold resistance. So this one we're just doing for straight healing. It's just apples and drumsticks. So you cook up in the pot after you hold it in your hand, and then you get your meat skewer. Now we're going to do a raw prime. That normally only gives you, I believe, 1.5. But I'm not going to infuse it with Okay, well, I don't have any of the stamina shrooms. If I had some, I was going to do that to give me more stamina. But we're going to do it with the herb, an apple, and a sky shroom. And cook it. Generally, adding multiple ingredients with no stat bonuses won't give you any buffs. Like, it'll just give you more hearts, which is not a bad thing. But if you're looking for specific, like cold resistance, you want to make sure you add mostly peppers into the dish. Tip number 8. So tip number 8 is going to be weapon crafting. So as you can see right here, I have just a standard wooden stick, 4 damage, and you have your, right here, your fuse ability. So you want to hit your fuse ability. You can fuse it to your shield or your wooden stick. So remember, I had a base 4 damage. So we're gonna fuse with a lumber stick, or lumber log. So now you have a stick within a stick, pretty much, and it's a longer reach and does more damage. So now it's a damage of 5 instead of 4. Now you can get increased when you start adding other items. Like, as you can see here, I have damage of 16, and I have one of 23, and I have one of 40. And when you go into the menus, you go over to your materials. Down in the corner underneath the Choo Choo Jelly, it says Fuse Attack Power. Any of these items will give you a Fuse Attack Power. So when you add that to your base weapon, you just add them together. Also do it with your shields, which is really nice. I do want to fuse one of my shields with something. You can take one of these orbs out. The flame emitter. Take out device. You can see it on the ground. Now you can fuse that with a sword or a shield. I will show you both. See, now I got a shield with a flame emitter, which means I can do fire breath. A little flamethrower. Alright, I'm going to take this Traveler's Claymore, take out another flame emitter, take out device, and we are going to fuse it with the sword. So now we got a sword with the flame emitter on the outside. It looks a little funky. There's a bunch of different funky weapons in this game. But when you swing it, it shoots flames out really far. Thank you everyone so much for watching. This is 8 tips for beginners, and I'll see you next time on my next video. Peace out.